Welcome to the Nameless Voices podcast. This is episode number 41, and I think we just had probably the quickest January in existence. Who is with me on that one?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, man.
depends
No.
on how you feel. I didn't feel it.
Like,
I mean, it was
never
like a
existed.
reasonable pace for me.
It just felt like it never existed. Maybe it's because of my job or something. I don't know. Oh, hang on. Something's up.
Maybe.
Stream is silent, apparently.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Oh, Lord.
Come to the sound of my voice. In more ways than one.
It's not it's not a podcast if something doesn't go wrong technically.
Yeah,
Okay,
tell me
that's
about
We
it.
haven't even gotten to introductions and already it's scuffed.
I
God damn it.
I remember after the last podcast, Nanashi pinged me and he was like, "You jinxed us, Raven," by saying that something bad was going to happen near the end.
It always does.
like,
It always
dude,
does.
I'm just like, dude, it's Discord. What do you expect?
The Discord against us.
Okay, good. I just had to reboot the sound real quick.
Okay, good.
All right, well, as I was
take two?
yeah, let's do take two.
My check.
Welcome to the Nameless Voices podcast. This is episode number 41, and I think that was the quickest January anybody has ever had. Who's with me?
Hey man.
Again? No, it was not. It was terrible.
All
I mean,
right,
it felt it was a reasonable pace for me.
yeah, fair enough. I guess it was just me. My job's been hectic. My name's Nanashi. I'll be your host for the evening, and I apologize in advance for whatever this is going to be. First off, I'd like to introduce the brand new setup we have going on. We are no longer in that cramped little studio. We now have an academy hall to go to, and I will be changing the colors out a little bit, but I think this is going to work.
It's
I
not
don't wanna go back to
School
school.
Academy. I don't like it.
That's not, I don't want to duel against the headmaster and almost get kicked out of school. I'm gonna lose, man.
Don't worry, Penny.
I'm playing Shadal Invoked. I'm not winning this.
Is the
Hang on a
headmaster
second.
going to be playing Ancient
Wait.
Years?
Wait,
Hang on a second. I gotta call attention to
pause.
one.
You're playing Shadow Invoke, and you're in.
Okay,
Nibiru.
pause. Apparently, Gloose, one of our most loyal watchers up to this point, works at fucking SeaWorld. I think that's awesome.
Okay.
Hey yo.
Dead ass. That's
sorry.
That's nice.
That's a
Okay. Way to flex. I had been I was
legit.
befuddled. I was surprised.
So,
All right, well,
anyway,
I gotta put respect
Let's
on
go
this
ahead and
name.
get through introductions because that
anyway,
just caught my attention, you know.
You're telling me.
Uh-oh. Something happened.
Are we
No,
crashing?
no.
Again?
Oh no.
Uh,
Yo.
stream's buffering on my end.
Are we crashing?
No, it's still recording and
Yeah,
whatnot.
please do
Yeah,
not put technical difficulties as a potential for a new title.
I was about to say, just name this stream Technical Difficulties. Enjoy.
It's Kenny's
Yeah.
fault. Name the stream. It's
Write that
Kenny's
down, write
fault.
that
It'll
down.
work.
Okay, it's still
I
receiving
haven't
enough
been here in
power.
like 3 months. It'll work.
Uh, you know, we're gonna continue on. It looks like it's
Listen here,
trying.
You're bugging this. You're bugging the podcast.
Okay, well, I'll just continue on like nothing's happening then. If anybody does notice anything wrong with the stream going on, Gloose, Rom, please let me know. Meantime, we'll just continue on. Joining me tonight is a menagerie of gaggle fucks. He's riding high on that Kamen Rider skin. It's AI Ignister.
For those who want to get into the Digimon TCG, you could get a core of the D Reaper set with the core of the D Reaper deck for around $30.
Cool.
All right.
Also, it looks like somebody else just joined.
Yo, I'm just saying I was gonna be part of the thing. It's me, Tommy, but it's my birthday and I'm tired. I've been up since 4. So just jump in and say hi.
Oh, that's
You
fine. man.
aight?
Happy birthday to you, dude.
Alright, thanks.
Happy birthday
yeah.
to you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Thanks. I will be sitting on the sidelines trying to stay awake.
That's fine.
Fair
That's
enough.
fine.
That works.
Uh,
It's okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, continuing down the list, we have the Yugi memer himself, Connor Lockhart.
Playing Marvel Snap and finally got into silver. Let's go.
We have our fellow furry Yugi tuber, Mr. Rory Kalkos.
We are living by numbers in the trash now.
Okay.
He has finally returned after so goddamn long. It's Kenny the Caveman.
I turned 26 today, and I'm still a sexual wank pheasant. Let's go.
Okay. Okay.
It was just for the
Tim,
night and then we broke them out. That's all.
Tim, where the actual
Well,
fuck
wait,
did you find that
every-
meme?
After every. But you think I looked it up? It's not the hardest.
I did not
Oh,
expect
no.
to see that today. Okay. We have the wild
Ben?
child himself. It's Lone.
Hey, I'm here.
He was running a little late, but he managed to show up just in time. It's Phoenix Reborn.
Now with 20% more dragons.
We have our silent partner, Rom. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
He is the thing that goes bump in the night, and he's carrying that super
Yeah.
swag now.
Rom!
It's Raven.
Make no mistake, I'm the best duelist. I summon Maneater Bug in attack mode.
Wait,
Let's do this. I'll do you after the podcast, Raven.
Didn't you lose the same like 12 times?
Who hasn't?
He's
Me?
not wrong.
He's everyone's worst nightmare by name, Tim Brick.
Arcana Force Sport 2024, hopefully?
Let's hope. Let's hope.
So,
No, it's not gonna happen.
Let's hope not
It's a
cope.
dream.
And he's everyone's favorite plushie. It's Yosh.
howdy. I think it's very funny that Sega decided it would be the best idea to release the Sonic X Shadow trailer on the first day of Black History Month. Like, and no, everyone at Sega thought that was okay. That was a green flag to everyone. Yeah, that wasn't gonna
Oh,
look
that was-
bad. That wasn't like, you know, Pokemon
Oh, that-
Masters.
Did-
Yeah,
did-
I would
did-
love
Okay.
it. I love me.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
I
a
just
good
picture of
They knew. They knew.
Sonic Shadow
I felt like we should
2024.
Get like address that elephant in the room like immediately and not just let it sink.
But
rather than get
Yosh,
sucker punched by
didn't
it
you
halfway
know?
through.
Yosh, didn't you know that everyone's favorite edgy hedgehog is black representation personified?
No,
I'm
no.
not wrong.
No,
If we're calling, if
I
we're,
Not wrong.
I don't
He
know.
likes guns. He doesn't obey the laws or rules.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Hey, observation. It's observation. It's an observation. Put your hands up. You say it's observation. It's fine.
calling
God.
Shadow black is like calling Bill Clinton black.
You know what? But
I'll take controversial opinions
Or
for
Michael-
500, Alex.
Or Michael Jackson White.
We're only 11 minutes in and we haven't talked about anything related to TCGs. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's not going
This
to
is
happen anytime
weird.
You
soon.
feel for you.
Podcast.
Well,
This is why
okay.
this is the greatest podcast in the world.
When is it
No
not?
one can say
Agreed.
otherwise. On a Tuesday.
All
On a
right,
Tuesday. I can't tell you why.
but it's
On a
Friday.
Tuesday. Yeah, I know, but imagine if we did Tuesdays. I would just tell you. It's not
Imagine
you.
how much curse this would all be if it was a podcast after dark, quote unquote.
Oh,
Let's
Oh
not.
my-
Let's
oh my
not.
God.
No,
I
no,
can't
no,
even
no.
imagine us not. Oh
I
god.
would never be part of the podcast. I work at night.
Dude,
Let's be more wholesome.
you know how kerfuffle
Oh.
life would be if we ended up
When?
doing a podcast at night in a school.
Oh my god!
Oh lord, you
Technically
said it.
speaking, for me and Ori, it's always a podcast at night.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Let's go ahead and try and get the show rolling if we even can. How's everyone doing tonight?
Very good.
You know what?
Do better.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling great, everybody.
A bit rough, but I'm making it.
I'm feeling.
I mean, I
ecstatic.
can honestly vouch. Allow me to explain because, yeah, allow me to tell you. It happened just want to say yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, if not the other day. Yeah, yesterday. My mother actually fractured her fifth metatarsal.
Oh,
What is
Yeah.
Can't relate.
Yeah.
Where is
it
that
was-
located in the body? I
That-
never knew
That's
this.
on the foot, like on the foot.
right.
Oh,
I remember now. Yeah, you mentioned that in the
it hurt her
server.
really bad. She's now having to wear the boot, and it doesn't help that she actually had planned a holiday, or rather a road trip around America.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, and it's absolutely rough.
Ooh,
Were you planning on going with her?
Unfortunately, Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. I didn't have enough time on to schedule that. But
That's a shame. We could have had a chance to
Alas.
finally meet everyone. To some degree.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
She would, she would actually drop off at start a road trip in Vegas before going all around national parks with my brother and his family. But now it's looking like it won't be the case.
Well, that is a genuine shame.
really
Tell her that a bunch of
really
random
sad,
people
to
on
say
the
the least.
internet.
'Cause I
Tell
was
her a bunch of
really
people,
rooting for
random
her.
people on the internet, feel bad that she couldn't enjoy her trip.
But at least, to line things up a little bit, when I did say at the start when we were living by numbers, but in the trash, I literally meant that. Behold
Yeah.
the abomination in VC chat.
Oh.
So a friend of ours decided to do something very cursed. He basically saw the Sphere World card on EDO Pro, the card that allows you to use any two monsters, make a number exceeds monster at random, and he made like an entire deck centered around a sort of like gacha-based system where you draw a bajillion cards, and you use all of the monsters in your hand alongside Sphere World to basically gacha the anime/manga effects of the number cards that are available, basically.
Ooh, using anime effects.
And
yeah,
and I mean, it's some of these cards are complete ass. Like I know 1331 are ass in the manga because, which I'm so glad when we got them for the TCG they fixed that.
Yeah.
But cards like
I forget what 13 and 31 do.
Crime and Punishment.
and the TCG, they're basically just you bell if they're both on the field and they can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. But in the manga, both players had to control one or the other, vice versa, to do the damage-based effect.
Oh yeah, the Gacha format.
Gacha format, yes.
And as
Well,
another
indeed.
addition to the rules, whoever summons number 69, or I believe it's rank up form, which is just mass skill drain, and it gets every card's effects in the anime, and has standard protection, or Numeronia, who's just instant win.
Might as well be.
So you're telling me we got the Gacha Game 2024 edition here, and Yu-Gi-Oh? That's
Yeah,
what's going
so-
on here now?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what you're telling me is Monster Strike bullshit on legs.
More or less.
Yeah.
If that's how you
Yeah.
want to word it, sure. But
Who's taking this to locals? Who's volunteering as tribute to try this out? Because I'm not doing it.
No, I like living. Thank you.
you see, here's the thing.
This is absolute chaos.
When I first observed it, I told my friend, "You're fucking mad, lad. You know that? This is the most absurd." And in all fairness, even he was like, I'm not expecting anyone to enjoy this. Now here Ori is recommending it.
Yep.
Of course.
Like, I've been constantly trying to ask Nanashi to try and try this format out because it is glorious chaos.
We showed another.
I'm sure
We
it is.
showed
I just,
is thumbnable material.
I just haven't had time.
We showed another friend of ours in another server, and they were very distressed. We showed them a replay of a few games, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
It would probably be the same. I would probably ask the same thing. Like,
I mean, to be fair, I showed a person in another server I'm in like this format, and then they were like, "What? What is this?"
It's chaos, but due to the RNG elements of it all, it's actually pretty fucking fun.
See, if it's
Yeah.
okay, all right. Who's taking it to regionals? I vote. Ori, I'm sorry, you're the only one we can trust with this.
Unfortunately,
tab.
you can only use the pre-constructed deck made for Gaga Gacha format.
Ah,
Yeah.
boo.
You need to go on EDO Pro and then like install it, but it's one of those
Hilarious.
games where you have to experience it for yourself to form a final opinion, even if you've like seen it or heard of it?
I have to see it to believe. I have to see it. I would like to see it for science.
Oh, trust me, I want to make a video on this because it is beautiful.
World's longest self-promotion, anyone?
100%.
Self-promotion here, right here.
I'm having fun. I'm having
And
fun.
the best part is the deck itself is called. The best part is the deck file is called Numbers Russian Roulette.
Oh.
That makes perfect sense.
Oh, so basically, you can just you either get probably some good stuff like numbers, like 101, 10.
It's all randomized. The experience is never going to be the same.
Fake numbers, which I actually might play in Gimmick Puppets just to see how it would look.
If you can pull it
fair.
off.
Also, fun fact. Chaos number 39 Utopia Ray and Chaos number 32 Sharkdrake Vice, they just die if you have 1,000 or more life points.
Yeah, because in the anime they were like final turn boss monsters or some crap like that, and they were like, oh, if you have more than 1,000 life points, we just kill ourselves, Black Rose style.
Yeah. Shame.
Yeah, so like if you get them in the gacha, and chances are that like you're not gonna have less than 1,000 life points, they just die, which is funny.
Since you start the duel with 40,000 life points.
Hold up, say what now?
There's a reason for that, because if you get anime Numeron Dragon, you just win the duel, because there's a replay I saw where it got to like nearly 50,000 attack during the battle phase.
Holy shit.
God.
All right. Well, this all sounds fantastic. Let's go ahead and get started into the actual topics I've got set up here, and I'm going to try and breeze through some of these. First off, how many of us have played Tetris?
Yes.
I haven't.
Oh,
It's too complicated for my stupid brain.
If you know where I'm going with this, just let me let it out. There was a 13-year-old kid by the name of Willis who over in Oklahoma who beat the original Tetris.
Incredible.
Oh, wow.
Now, when I say beat the original Tetris, I mean that because of the age of the game, it only allows you to get so high of a score. But he got so high a score, it glitched the game, and he could not get any higher on the scoreboard. So he beat it. Literally.
The kill stream.
And then, apparently, it's more than that. He was challenged by the original creator of Tetris, I believe it was, and beat him too. Beat the man at his own game. Literally.
Okay, how is it we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh earlier, and then you bring this up, and it's just, oh, real life Yugi beat up Pegasus, cool.
Where do you think the tie-in came from?
Yugi.
Art is inspired by history, you should know that.
Tetris archetype when...
Have you not read the manga? Takahashi-san left that out of his original cut. Rest his soul.
Yeah. On that subject, actually, there wasn't something else I was going to bring up later, but we might as well. There was a magazine recently that referenced Kazuki Takahashi and talked about his life and everything that led up to his passing. And right underneath that, they referenced LittleKuriboh and how his entire fan base is all because of the amazing work that Kazuki Takahashi did. And he mentioned it on Twitter, and then he deleted it because he didn't get the kind of reaction he was hoping for.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like a him problem.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, whatever.
A bit of a him problem. A tiny little bit of a skill issue.
Just a little bit. On the subject of games, though, switching quickly to a video game topic, how many of us here have played Palworld?
No.
I haven't been able to play yet.
Oh boy, here we go.
I got started on it, actually.
I heard it's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It has some obvious mechanic issues.
Yeah, because it's still in the alpha stage, but it's still being like fleshed out. But I want to say from like the few hours that I've played of it, because I'm a curious guy. When I see a lot of shit around a video game, I have to like get my hands on it to see just if it's a playable game at the very least, or if the controversy is really worth it to a fair degree.
Yeah, the controversy.
And-
Nintendo's trying to sue the original maker because they think they're stealing property or something.
No. They are not. Because if they were, they would have done it 3 years ago. They would have shut that down quickly.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
From what I've played, I want to point out this is still the game preview in alpha, and it looks and plays so much better than any official Pokemon title we've gotten in recent years. And that it's such an ironic, as you look at a game like Scarlet and Violet. I mean, sure, it's a low bar. The game's not exactly the most polished in terms of recent Pokemon games, but this is a AAA studio, for God's sake.
I believe the reason Nintendo can't sue is because their screenshots literally have a Palworld holding like an AK-47.
Something like that, yeah.
That's the reasoning?
I'm not really surprised if this happened. Lethal Company has managed to outsold fucking what's it called? Modern Warfare 3.
That's the only reason they can't sue?
Yeah, because one of the tricks they use is a screenshot pic, where they take a screenshot of Pokemon and a screenshot of they think is copying, and if the judge say, oh, they're similar, then Nintendo wins. But the screenshot they took of Power was literally a Pokemon carrying a gun. So the judge says, no, these two aren't the same.
The Palworld dev team's just trolling Nintendo in response. Nintendo, you idiots, we're not the same thing. Look, our Pokemon can use guns. What does Pikachu use?
Yeah, it's like, look, we have a
Jack
Cinderace, and it has a gun.
Fucking pussy Pikachu can't even use a Glock 19.
I will always call Palworld the game where Grookey is packing heat.
All right. Well,
I hate it that you're not wrong.
Yes, there's literally a grass monkey.
Oh boy.
That goes into gangs. And of course, because Palworld uses a gun.
Of course. There's so much you can take from that. But on the subject of games, though, have any of you guys seen anything about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League?
I'm trying
I heard that upon release on Steam, it just wasn't working, and then when it was working, people had very mixed reviews about it. Most were negative.
Well, there's a huge reason for that. The bug that came out with it on release was so dumb. It auto-completed the story mode the second you started playing it.
Wait, what?
I forgot about that one, but yeah.
That is embarrassing.
Yes, it is.
Like, I haven't played it, but I watched playthrough of it because I knew I wouldn't play it. Yeah, there's just things that make you go like, why would they do that to this?
I mean, this coming from the high roller groups of people who say that, like the guy over in Ubisoft who says that we should get comfy with the idea of not owning our games. Fuck you.
But if we pay for it, we own it. These game companies, man, and they saw what happened with the big scam that was the day before, and now they're getting really ballsy. They're like, how do we do better than this dev team that flunked after 4 days of release and made no profits from this scam? Oh, I know. Let's tell our player base, our fans, that they're not allowed to own their games.
They just want everything to be a paid subscription service. That's all it is.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, this is literally worse than what I expected with Fallout 76, which is a damn shame because I actually like the Fallout series.
Well, yeah, I think same with like 76 and Elder Scrolls Online. It's like this is a series that can't be multiplayer because the concept of you are pretty much MC of like a great like shonen anime, You can't have 12 Mace MCs in an area. It just don't work.
Well, that and the
Don't work
fact
sometimes.
that the creation engine that Bethesda uses for those titles is just a disaster waiting to happen if you try to put it in a multiplayer framework.
Yeah,
Go
it just
figure.
doesn't work.
And like another fun thing that I was actually looking at with Tekken 8 was
it's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking bloody beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
also
So I've seen
like they kind of fixed Leroy, and my nunchuck sensei was kind of depressed because he said that he wanted one day that there be a Wing Chun character in Tekken.
Oh yeah, the customization.
And
Wait. Wasn't there already a Wing Chun character in the game?
No.
Really?
No, and then when Leroy came out, and he was like, "Oh, cool! There's an actual dude using actual Wing Chun," and it ended up into a what have I wished upon this world.
Speaking of customization or like character customization in Tekken, that reminds me. I wish we could finally get our hands on like a modern title for Soul Calibur. I want that series to come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So one thing that I kind of hope that they would do for like Soul Calibur 7 technically, Guts.
I want to see them take like, well, yes, add Guts, but also take a turn like what Smash Bros. Ultimate did, where they brought back like everyone from previous titles.
I don't
because we had Spawn, we had Link, we had like a few others as well. Like for us, we had fucking Star Killer, Yoda,
I
and
remember
Vader.
Star Killer.
I don't think we've had Spawn, but I think there was something made by the guy who made Spawn.
He was in an
No, he was on the Xbox one.
Yeah, he was on the Xbox, and I know Zelda was like in an arcade version of it.
Link was in the GameCube version. Heihachi was in the PS.
I remember Link in the GameCube version because my brother used to own Soul Calibur 1 GameCube.
Here's actually like there's actually a few guest characters that I would want. One of my friends actually wanted create a character Weapons to come back from Soul Calibur 3.
I forgot that was an option, honestly.
Like when you do Soul Calibur 7, you don't like. I would want to see like a Tekken Force mode.
Maybe.
Like you know the Streets of Rage.
Not really.
Like you remember Tekken 4 where they had that Tekken Force mode where you were fighting a bunch of guys?
I'm not much of a Tekken guy.
That's from 3. That's from 3.
You sure? Like
I'm positive that's in 3. It's a beat 'em up style mode, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's in 3. You play as Jin and I believe Nina.
Yeah, Yosh would probably know. He's on the up and up when it comes to most video games. But let's go ahead and continue on. Let's go ahead and continue on since we are running a little bit behind. There's two other things I want to end this on. One for me and one for everyone to enjoy. First off, I've talked about Red Green in the past and the Red Green show. I've been a member of the fan club, the Possum Lodge, for years, and I just got notified that apparently he has been inducted into the Canada Comedy Hall of Fame. So fantastic for him.
That's a thing.
Yes.
Oh wow!
Love to see it.
15 years of his TV show, multiple live tours, selling his book, and promoting the wonders of duct tape. Like, oh god, that's a show title. God damn it. The other thing
David Showtime was not incorrect.
We're getting a lot of good show titles early on in this, huh?
Yeah. Well, the other thing is this, and I think we're all probably ready for this one. There's a major sporting event coming up very, very soon that I think everybody's excited to see. The Puppy Bowl on February 11th. Puppy Bowl 20.
Yes.
What?
Puppy Bowl 20.
What's that?
Wait, what?
You don't know about the Puppy Bowl?
It's all right.
No, I
Oh
do
my
not.
god, I didn't think it was something no one knew about.
Are you kidding me? I've been watching that almost every year.
You said Puppy Bowl. I've never heard of that until now.
Alright,
Damn.
Nanashi, do you mind if I take the reins on this one, please?
Go right ahead.
Oh, thank you. Alright, so, it is one of the cutest sporting events in history. I don't know who came up with it, but they were either on drugs or they were really big brain or both. And honestly, I wish I could strive to be that smart. Anyway, it's essentially just they sent out a bunch of puppies onto a small football field. And when I say small, I mean it's recreated perfectly. 50 yards left, 50 yards right. But the size of it is about 6 feet. Anyway, they put a bunch of little toy balls and stuff like that for the puppies to play with, and they're supposed to try to score goals with them, go to the end zone with them. The best part about it though, all the puppies that you see on there are a production. It's a way to make it so they can all go to a good home. And it's not just puppies; there's also kittens in it too.
It's a kitten halftime show, baby.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't care what event you're planning on watching.
Wow.
Puppy Bowl 20, February 11th. It's through the Discovery Channel. Look it up. It's worth it.
I'm sorry,
I'm not Animal Planet
Nanashi,
anymore,
I
but that's
can't.
good.
You are tearing my heart out as a 49ers fan. I have to watch this win a 6 Super Bowl ring. I can't.
Speaking of,
if we weren't in it, I would have watched.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there is something else because now you mentioned it. I just remembered. So, who remembers the Super Bowl from 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes,
when Steven Hillenburg died.
Oh.
You remember
Oh,
how
yeah,
they came out with Sweet Victory?
When they went to freaking sicko mode.
You guys want to hear sicko mode?
Okay.
They've confirmed that they're actually doing it this year. They're doing Sweet Victory.
Oh. They're actually doing it.
Too little, too late, but better late than never.
Well, I mean, when hockey outpaces you to something glorious like that, at this point, you're just doing damage control.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially. That, and I think everyone's already seen the, Paramount Plus trailer, where it's Knuckles, Arnold, and Peppa Pig all in the same thing, and everyone's like, whoa, the Paramount Cinematic Universe is gonna be Marvel or something like that.
I thought that was a goddamn fever dream.
I saw a similar.
It was on AdSense.
No one cared for that.
I saw a similar ad on YouTube like that. It was Peppa Pig, some other character, and then they brought in a Decepticon, and it was how good is your pitch, man? It's really good.
All right.
Yep, that's the one.
All right. Well, I think it's time we finally started on the card games. 36 minutes into a card game-based podcast. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
All right.
Better late than never.
Well, top of the list, just like always. Well, top of the list, just like always. Digimon can go first.
Okay, so Digimon, welcome to Diabormon Sweep Part 2, Nuclear Boogaloo. It is no longer Electric Boogaloo, but now Nuclear Boogaloo, because something insert children's wargame reference here, because if I say the actual thing, it will probably get Nanashi banned.
Good possibility.
Yeah,
yeah.
So yeah, they just made a bunch of reveals, especially for BT-17 Secret Crisis. Most specifically for Diabormon, who is getting an actual win con. Literally, win con.
They didn't have a win con?
Like the option card gives you an alternate win condition.
It's
Allow me to break the ice. I'm gonna have to be quiet a bit. So the option card, Clock of the End, play cost 3. On security, play a Diabormon token for no cost. No, on security, add it to your hand. On main, play a Diabormon token for free. then place it underneath one of your Diabormon without Clock of the End in its evolution cards as its evolution cards, but you can't place it under tokens because rulings suck.
Oh, you're offsetting
At
the
the start
cost.
of your turn, if you have 4 copies of it in play in your battle area, you automatically win the game. But it's inheritable. It gives all turns. If this Digimon would leave the battle area by an effect, delete a Diabormon you control instead, and at the end of your opponent's turn, place a Clock of the End from its evolution cards into your battle area.
That just sounds like Final with extra steps.
Little bit.
And
It does.
and it's a 3-cost option card.
Final countdown in Digimon.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
Hold on, it's even got the frickin' iconic shot from the Digimon children's war game anime. If I can frickin' find the card.
What card?
Yes. Yeah, I was able to give someone PTSD with the card.
Oh, that's a good sign of a good day.
Yeah, that it is. Let me find the frickin'...
Congratulations, you just gave me a Vietnam flashback.
Yes.
Oh, those are good flashbacks right there.
An iconic shot as well.
Oh, that one. Hold on, let me try to find translations for it.
Yeah, I've already described the effect, but...
Yeah, well, you described the effect already.
Let everyone... Yeah. And Diabormon is indeed returning for the next set, which is in EX6 Infernal Ascension, which is already well into reveal season. And as expected, the 7 Great Demon Lords with Ogudamon have been revealed. Ogudamon being a secret rare. And it's only a matter of time that I think we'll be getting Lucimon's Satan mode in secret rare.
Yeah.
The set
Hold
will...
on, can I just say that, for the deck, I personally think that EX6 Diabormon is better than the BT17 one. That's just my personal opinion.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Of course, I don't blame you, because EX6 Diabormon is kind of nice. Play a token at the start of your main phase and on evolve. Trigger its on evolve effect whenever the opponent plays any Digimon, and gives all other Diabormon jamming and blocker. Yikes.
I can only imagine how difficult that is to deal with.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And that picture that Ron sent was before the EX6 support was revealed.
Ooh.
Hello, Papas.
And speaking of EX6, it will be released in Japan later this month on the 23rd. Meanwhile, over in English, EX5 Animal Coliseum is now out, and the English version actually finally made its announcement concerning choice restriction, or in their words, the banned pair.
Right.
As a quick reminder, Japan actually put a choice restriction on EX5 Seiyu and Co. due to a nasty combo which basically gains memory the moment your opponent's turns start, effectively preventing them from playing the game. So as a result, EX5 Seiyu and Co. can no longer be used in the same deck as Promo Zubamon, BT13 Keenan, and ST16 Matt. The English version finally got its update on that choice restriction, which I think took effect on the 19th of January. So there's that to bring in. And for the next set, which is Exceed Apocalypse, later this month on February 16th. So get ready to have like a week and a half of Tier 0 Apocalypse before it gets massacred.
I'd rather not, thanks.
Yeah, no, see, I've been personally Wise Man looped, and I'm like, I do not want to go through that ever again. And
not that I blame you, but like I said, it's only probably going to be Tier 0 for like a week and a half because the deck's basically getting gutted in the March ban list, which I will bring up again when it hits, when it takes effect, even next month.
Looking forward to it, man.
Or when it doesn't.
And
we'll see.
I think the only other thing Digimon related is the announcement of the Blu-ray release of 02 The Beginning.
Oh, nice.
I've seen the movie in theaters, I can't wait to see it again.
I legit want to watch it because 02 is my childhood.
Of course.
I really want to see that movie.
I think it's everyone's childhood, but one thing I still want to see, I still want to play Marcus Punch You in Marcus, let's throw hands.
The deck is still very much playable.
Yeah. My childhood was 01.
Mine was Data Squad.
Are we referring to Digimon or what is it
Digimon.
called? Okay.
Digimon. Yeah, we're still talking about Digimon. My childhood was 01, but I still think that Frontier was peak.
Mine was Data Squad.
That's fair.
Mine was 01, but I still love Data Squad.
So you said that was all the Digimon news?
I think so, yes.
Well, as far as I'm aware, in terms of Pokemon, the only thing that was even worth mentioning was the whole them trying to get rid of Palworld news. Other than that, is there anything Pokemon related that's even worth mentioning?
Yes, there is.
Oh.
Who here is familiar with Pokemon VGC, specifically doubles?
Oh yes, I am. I am aware of it. Yes.
Did anyone see the regionals that happened this weekend?
No.
Oh no.
We got the rise of a new top team in Shentai. From the name, obviously the most important Pokemon are Chien-Pao and Entei. Entei intimidates Pokemon, so they lower their attack, but Chien-Pao has a passive where all Pokemon's defenses are lowered by 25%. So it's basically nothing. Alright, so aside from Entei on your team, Entei's taking wherever your partner Pokemon is with Chien-Pao, nothing is getting hit physically. Because everything is like, is 25% weaker, as well as the fact that Intimidate cuts their attack by half, so they're not taking that much damage anyway. Along with the fact that Chien-Pao just does a lot of damage themselves, and is a physical attacker, meaning it's preying on the fact that you have no physical defense. That it like won the tournament for it, and obviously Ogerpon was there too. Ogerpon's in every team in top 8, whether it's Wellspring or Heartflame. It's one of the two. That's it.
I think
it's either the Fire War type.
I think I more commonly see Wellspring.
Yeah, Wellspring's a better support mon. Heartflame's a better damage. Anyway, funnily enough, the top team was not the only team at regionals. Believe it or not, no Pokemon. There was no team in top 8. There might be one that I'm forgetting about, but no, to my knowledge, none of the teams in top 8 were similar at all. Like they didn't have the same Pokemon at all.
Oh, so completely unique teams across the board.
Yes, and I don't mean that like because there was a team of 6 for 8 Pokemon. It's a what is it called? It's 48 Pokemon throughout the whole. No, it's literally like each team had a different set of Pokemon. Each team could differentiate each other by like one mon. Which is funny because one of them didn't. It had like 2 of the mons that were on every other team, and I believe that was aside from Ogerpon. The other one was it was either Dragonite or not Entei, Raging Bolt. But that team specifically was a Trick Room team with Iron Crown, and Indeedee, which is like the exact opposite of the team that won, because the one team that won is hyper aggressive. The team that team is super defensive. It's like focused on being offensive after it sets up Trick Room. Until then, it's meant to be tanky.
Gotcha.
So it's compared to how Block D and E were, where we saw the same team in top 8 like 4 times at least and 8 times at most. Usually it was probably something like 6 or 7. It's one hell of a breath of fresh air.
I'm sure it
is. To not have every team consist of Ogerpon, and then it'll be like Ogerpon, Dragapult, Fluttermane, Iron Hands, and then the 2 Pokemon are just filled. It's usually like one of the one of the Ruin legendaries, and then one Pokemon you can just throw in for filler. Also, funnily enough, there are 3 Pokemon that have always been good in doubles. And when I say always been good, I mean like they've always been top 8. Out of those 3, only 2 of them made top 8, and they were both only on one team. No, one of them was on one team, the other one was on 2 teams only in top 8. Those 3 Pokemon are Incineroar, Smeargle, and I'm drawing a blank on the third one. I believe Porygon 2. Or not Porygon 2, Landorus. Landorus Therian.
Of course it's Landorus Therian.
So, guess who, out of those 3, who do you think was the one that had 2 team placements instead of 1?
Smeargle.
You think Smeargle had 2, huh?
Every move in the game having access to?
Funnily enough, Smeargle was one of those 2 that only had 1 team placement. Incineroar was on 2 teams.
Oh yeah.
So, Incineroar got buffed recently because it got Helping Hand, which was the one thing make it so there were other support mods that had something over it. Now it has every good support move, so there's no reason to run any other support mod other than that, unless you need something like in Among Us, which does something completely different.
Among Us.
So,
yeah. Incineroar's only purpose is to be a troll, basically.
Yeah, exactly. You'll run, every Incineroar worth their salt will almost always run Fake Out and Intimidate, because Intimidate lowers their attack, Fake Out stops one of them runs from doing anything.
Parting Shots allows.
And then the other 3 and then Parting Shot, yeah, because if then it can switch out for free and lower their attack even more, and their special attack. Which is something that Pokemon lacks a lot of, is ways to like lower an opponent's special attack, I've noticed. Like there's plenty of ways to punish physical attackers, not so much for special. But anyway, Parting Shot, and then the next 2 moves are just whatever the hell you want. You can go Throat Chop to stop other Pokemon from using sound moves, like another Incineroar using Parting Shot. You could go Snarl to lower their special attack even more, and it hits both teammates. I mean, both opponents. You can run Flare Blitz for a possible burn and just for pure chunk damage. You could run U-Turn if you want a second move in case you got hit by Throat Chop for some reason, like a second swapping move. You could run Darkness Lariat, which bypasses defense increases. This thing can run anything, and it will still manage to do more work than the busiest man in the world right now. I guarantee it.
So it can run 3 support moves, which is Fake Out.
Fake Out itself is a support move too, technically. But yeah.
Parting Shot and Helping Hand, along with, I don't know, Protect, probably.
Mine consists of Fake Out, Parting Shot, Helping Hand, and the last move is usually Snarl, because I want him to like make it so special attackers can't do much, because if I'm going to be fitting out with Parting Shot, why not also make it a special attacker's job a living hell?
Yep. Like it's a...
I could also give it Roar if I want to, but Roar is not, it's how do you describe it? Not good in doubles, but not the point. So yeah, it was interesting seeing that the entire meta got like shaken up in a way where no team was the right answer. It's still people trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And I'm all for it.
There's Clear Pendant.
There's what?
Clear Pendant negates status debuffs.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about I'm talking about Pokemon, not what's it called?
Oh,
not Yu-Gi-Oh. No, I'm talking about Pokemon, not Yu-Gi-Oh.
I want to say something.
No,
I want to give a moment of silence to sleep moves in OU.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because the mods were too much of a pussy to ban Iron Valiant and Dark Bro.
Yup.
Okay, well, hang on.
Oh, alright, hold up.
Lone was trying to say something a moment ago. I'd like to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I was saying Clear Pendant is a is an item, held item in Pokemon that prevents status.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about a I thought you said something with Panda, so I figured you meant a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I'm sorry.
No,
it's Pendant.
I mean, there is that, but you're giving up your item slot for that, and at that point, you might as well just run. If you want something to protect your abilities, you might as well run Weezing on your team.
As like, well, people used to run White Herb because of that, so Clear Pendant's gonna be gonna replace that.
Yeah,
possible.
I see a lot. I saw a bunch of Covert Cloak at VGC also, which is really threw me off.
Okay, was that all the Pokemon news?
Yeah, basically.
All right, well, I feel like we could just skip the whole Magic the Gathering thing because the only news we've gotten from them recently is how poorly they've disguised their AI art they're trying to implement into some of their more recent cards.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on. Can I say something about it real quick?
Sure, go ahead if you got something.
Okay, so the other day, I went to my local mall and I saw a Magic the Gathering Doctor Who Commander deck.
Right.
And I was like, I asked like how much it was to see if it was like a good enough price for me, and they told me it was like $64. And I'm like, nope.
No.
64 bucks
for one deck.
Which indicates to me that it's a pretty good deck.
True, but
I was like, what's the average price for a regular starter box?
I actually don't know.
Neither do I. I don't play Magic.
Me neither. I don't think anybody here plays Magic
Don't
anymore.
blame you.
I play Magic. I just play Commander.
Fair.
I have class.
I don't play anymore. I used to.
It forces me to have friends.
I just couldn't really get into it. I mean, the first deck made for me, by the way, when I was starting was Eldrazi, and I had a few fun times with that as I was learning. But was I good at the game? Fuck no.
Fuck no. That's why I personally play Commander, or Earth Dragons.
I played one thing of Commander before, but I had to borrow someone's deck because I didn't have my own, and they had a spare. And from that one game, I feel like I enjoyed that more.
That's why, because
standard format itself.
Because Commander's like, you need 4 people. You only get 1 copy of any card besides the ones that are banned on this list. Have at it, and you have 1 monster you can summon whenever you want, who is your commander. And if you summon him and he dies, instead of just being dead, you can't use it. It goes back to the commander zone. I got the name of it, and you have to just add additional like 2 colorless to it to summon again. So if it's like 1 color to summon it, it's great. It could die 17 times. It won't be that bad. But if it's like 12, don't let it die, because then that goes up to 14, 16, and then to 18. You have
they
to
can just come back to life after they die?
No, they go back to the command zone, and then you have to summon them again, but there are additional color to it, additional 2. So imagine you had a 12-color commander, and it died after someone found a way to get rid of it, and it goes back to command zone. You want to summon it again, it isn't 12, it's 14. You have to commit 14 of your resources to bring it back out. That's why a lot of people play commanders that are just like, yo, I can naturally do stuff in the command zone before I even leave. That's why I like
that sounds like Weiss Schwarz, honestly.
Little bit.
Insane.
That's why, but you only get 99 cards in a deck, and you get 1 copy of any card, just 1, unless it says
99.
different.
Like most decks are more than that.
Well, yeah, it's in Magic, as long as you just shuffle it, there's no limit. But most people keep it between like 100 to like 40.
There was a Magic deck that kind of piques my interest, I will admit. It's like a fucking ancient dinosaur. I forgot what it was.
Dude, it sounds cool. We got dinosaurs?
I didn't know this?
We got dinosaurs?
Are you really surprised?
Not really.
Didn't think so.
Who doesn't like dinosaurs? If you don't like dinosaurs, we have some problems. You have some problems, dog.
Now ask that in the context of Yu-Gi-Oh! And see how many people complain about
We don't
Myth.
talk about dinosaurs in Yu-Gi-Oh!
We don't. Dinosaurs are cool no matter where they are, even if they're trash.
We don't talk about dinosaurs in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's been times where I'm like, I could beat this dinosaur deck with my trains, and then I'm like, why did Conductor flip all my stuff face down? Why is everything in my flow blowing up and taking 1,000 damage? Why is there an egg that I can't use? What is this garbage?
That's also fair. Wait. Before because I was using the bathroom when y'all were talking about dinosaurs. I just need to bring this up. Y'all are like worried that we have, or not worried. Y'all are surprised we have dinosaurs in Magic the Gathering. We have Warhammer characters in Magic the Gathering.
This is true.
This is beautiful.
I mean, honestly, I'm personally not surprised given all these crossovers that's happening. I believe there was
There was a Transformers thing once.
Wasn't there?
When are we gonna get to the VTuber one? Let's get VSoja on there.
I don't know if
I covered, buddy.
I don't know if I'm misremembering or not, but wasn't there like a Walking Dead like crossover one for Magic, or am I thinking of something else?
You might be thinking of
You're
something
thinking
else.
probably Brawlhalla. You're probably thinking of Brawlhalla, honestly.
Could be.
Brawlhalla.
They have crossover with it, and Tekken,
because I'm just like, at this point, if they gave us a fucking like starter, like a commander starter with Rick Grimes, do you think anyone's gonna question that in the Magic the Gathering fan base?
Why
Magic the Gathering has a My Little Pony too.
My Little Pony. Oh god.
I summon Discord in attack mode. No, not the site.
I found,
Who doesn't like?
I
Hey,
found the
Discord
dinosaur-
was great. He was a great character. You can't hate Discord.
I agree.
I don't even watch My Little Pony, but from like what I hear about him, he's just Bill Cipher, who's also just as good.
Bill Cipher, Discord, peak characters. Next topic on the list would be Cardfight Vanguard. Got any news there?
Yeah, I actually do.
Let's hear it.
They just showed us the 2 new things for Divines, both Reziel and...
Yeah, those cards. Vargas, I think is what it was?
And Vagras. And I'm like, I must play this.
Sounds good stuff.
He says,
I
swing, I get 10,000 power, but I nuke everybody's front row.
Funny.
Interesting.
At the end of the turn, restand me -2 drives.
So less damage, but a second swing.
Yeah, since you're not actually discarding anything for his effect, you're living. You can live with it. Divine skill: cough, overturn, cough, overturn. After you swung twice, Counterblast 1 again. Restand him. He gets those 2 drives back.
So he can swing 3 times.
Yes.
Yeah, so for a bit of context, divine skills are like once per fight effect.
Once per game.
Yeah.
Yeah, once per game.
If you've played Buddy Fight, this is basically overturn.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then there's Reziel. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, Counterblast 1, choose up to 2 cards from your drop with different grades, and the total grade less than or equal to the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone, and call them to rearguard. His divine skill, Soul Blast 1, return all critical triggers from your drop to the deck and shuffle. And it gets dropped +1 until the end of the turn. And until the end of the fight, you cannot ride units without Reziel in their card names. And you get, when your damage check reveals a trigger unit other than a heal, if your damage zone has 5 or more cards, choose a card from your damage zone and heal it. And you lose his ability.
Basically, he turns your next thing, he turns your next trigger check, no matter what. If it's a trigger, it's a heal.
So he
It is the
guarantees
fated
you...
one of miracles after all.
As long as the check would be fatal.
That's why it's called the fated one of miracles after all.
That makes sense.
Here's the funny thing with Reziel's first effect. He's what we call I'm gonna draw until my deck runs out.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Because here's what's happens. There's a wee little card called Painkiller Angel.
Okay.
It actually was used by the same character who used Reziel, which is actually funny.
Yes. Here's what happens. Reziel resurrects Painkiller every turn for a costless draw.
Oh, that's scary.
Oh no.
Oof.
So you're just like.
Well, there is a quote unquote cost. It retires itself.
but that's not actually a cost with Rezael.
There's a cost. The cost is that everyone at the venue is gonna hate you for using it.
That's that's not a cost.
The cost here is that the friends you made along the way now all hate you. So you die a painful death.
Yeah, that sounds about as D&D logic or any logic, really.
Rezael just literally tells you, because United Sanctuary has so many cards that kill themselves for cost. Rezael is literally just out here being like, Rezael's just the accountant of, I do whatever the fuck I want.
I mean, to be fair about the whole killing your own units, one of the clans in the Character Sanctuary is Shadow Paladin, which is all about sacrificing your own guys.
Yes, but Rezael makes that not a cost. Like, sacrificing your own guys? Hey, I'm just going to bring them right back.
Oh boy.
Shadow Paladins in a nutshell. Honey, it's time for your daily blood sacrifice.
Oh,
yes,
no.
dear.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then you get something that says draw 2 when you resurrect. That literally just says, hey, I'm part of greed when you resurrect. I'm like, what?
So, card of safe return. Got it.
Oh,
I'm like,
actually, I was thinking more pre-erratum Destiny Hero Disc Commander.
yes, I'm like,
God.
Disc Commander. The recycle your triggers, that means nothing, because you're going like, everything in your graveyard is stuff that you're going to resurrect for plus 2 billion. I think this is going to be an alien term to most Yu-Gi-Oh people. You're going to have a 10 to 15 card hand.
If you play spirits, that's actually pretty average nowadays.
Like,
That sounds
Or
about
if
right.
you go on Master Duel and use Maxi.
like,
I mean, it's not really that
what is
forward.
this?
Yeah.
Like, what is this thing called a hand? Like, but here's
No, the Yu-Gi-Oh players who ask that question are the Infernity players.
Yeah.
You don't talk about the Infernity
thinking they
players.
ask questions.
We
like,
don't talk about the Infernity players.
yeah. Because you get 4 to 5 swings with a 10 card hand.
Yeah, that sounds like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
I'm like,
depending on the deck.
yeah, like, the deck can say activate combat mechanic.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, can I
Yeah.
just bring up something?
What's up?
Okay, so Boulder Axe Dragon. Let's just focus on the second effect because the last few words I find funny. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Varga in its card name, this unit gets +5 until the end of that battle. At the end of that battle, retire this unit and draw a card. This effect is mandatory.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Yeah, that's just for the Yu-Gi-Oh people that aren't used to the choice effects.
Yeah, I just find those last few words funny.
Like,
Fair enough.
That doesn't seem fun.
So was that all the Vanguard news?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I just looked at this deck and what in the Stephen he is this deck? Like,
it's better Overlord. It's better Overlord.
Like,
Yeah.
Dragress is literally just
archetype.
Vagra Dragress is literally better Overlord, and Rezael is literally just someone from United Sanctuary made out with someone from Grand Blue. Like an Angel Feather made out with someone from Grand Blue.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Overlord, because that's actually a perfect segue point to get into the next card game topic, which is Weiss Schwarz. Now, real quick, the reason I say this is because if you remember from the last show, I mentioned that there was some new Seven Deadly Sins build focusing on Hendrickson and the like that I did not understand the purpose of. Somebody watched the stream, found that, and explained it to me. And I'm going to put it real simple.
Oh.
Yeah, I did not expect that. So first off, thank you for watching the stream. Appreciate it. Basically, it works like this. In Weiss Schwarz, there's a term that's called global hexproof. It basically means, in Yu-Gi-Oh terms, a single card that gives everything non-targeting, or targeting immunity.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a card in the Overlord deck that does that, and it's one of the top played builds of the series. This deck, the Hendrickson build, focuses on the idea of ignoring that and just playing around it in the best way possible. And that was what was confusing to me, because it didn't interact in the way I was used to seeing. So thank you for clarifying on that. Blame Overlord for Hendrickson. That's basically what this boils down to.
Wow.
Alright, I blame everybody for letting this happen. Who did this?
So it basically makes your field on.
It was me. I was mad that they didn't localize the Oshinoko deck yet.
It was me, Donald Trump.
Well, on the subject of next upcoming sets, the Spy X Family series is officially out.
Wait, deadass?
It's out as well as a special set, and I got some information that might help. I got some information you might want to hear about. I took a deep dive into the set, and this is what I found. The red cards are basically Yor and Yuri and all them. The yellow cards are Anya, Becky, and the kids. Blue is Lloyd and Fiona and the like, but I think I'm going to focus on the green build, which is pretty much focused entirely on the family aspect. And the reason I say it is because it's got a finishing combo where it just trades its pieces. You attack with specifics from each member of the family, and then you just trade them out for more defensive versions of those pieces, and you just go back and forth each turn. It even plays your combo enabling pieces right out of your waiting room, which is your graveyard, for a fairly minimal cost.
That is actually kind of busted.
It is. It's fun.
I'm actually going to look into that.
I got a top tier deck without realizing I'm mad. I'm mad. I could print out what do you call them? Placeholders.
Well, how do you think I feel about Fire Kings, man? That deck's becoming up and rising, and I'm sitting here playing it for years. But we'll get into that later.
Any card game deck is you have to get Labama, so don't take it too hard.
Don't you just love it when your favorite deck, only you really care about it and know much about it, but then it becomes meta and everyone else acts like they've been with it?
Yes, I hate that shit so much.
How do you feel when
samurais? I swear.
No, how do you feel when with ABC?
Yeah. How do you think I felt with Trap Tricks? I was like, no one wants to play Trap Tricks. I love this deck. And then I stopped playing it. Comes meta. I'm just like, what bullshit is this?
Here's the thing. Every time I go to locals, well, when I was consistently, I'd play pure Cyber Dragons, and everyone was always shitting on that deck. That's like, oh, it's a shitty GX era deck that can sometimes do an OTK against the meta. And then we get Clockwork Knight and Duality and all these other good cards for it, and they're just now like, oh, this is the best deck ever. I loved it since the beginning.
Like, don't you fucking...
Don't be lying.
Now,
how do you think I feel?
How do you think I feel when with Goki, ABC,
Man, ABC and Goki have just been neutered.
Yeah. Well, getting back on topic though.
He's still there.
Yeah.
Getting back on topic. I was also taking a look through the signed prints, which is a naturally occurring rarity in this game, and they've got a ton of signed prints this time around. And the one that Anya has, it looks like she signed it in crayon.
Beautiful.
It's adorable. It's adorable.
Continuity.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's adorable.
Now getting back
I'll
to
rebuy it in that case. I don't care.
well, getting into the other set information, we also got some release dates confirmed. They've confirmed that Bang Dream Girls Band Party Countdown Collection actually got delayed from April 19th to May 17th. So if you're planning on playing that, you got to wait a little bit longer. But they did just confirm a few new dates. Bang Dream My Go is coming out on May 17th, which is the same as the original Bang Dream set I just mentioned. I assumed that might have been the reason, but they said it was because of shipping production issues. But we did get confirmed that Boshi the Rock is coming out in English on June 14th.
Let's fucking go, baby!
Oh, wow.
And we finally got some information on the Ruby Booster Pack, which is going to be based on Volume 4 of the series. It's dropping on June 28th.
Yeah!
I'm sorry, I'm not saying ill to it getting an expansion. I'm glad it's getting it. I just don't care for Ruby.
Fair enough. I started caring for Ruby after a while, too.
Yeah, it fell off a bit.
And we did get confirmed a new series that's coming to the game, which is Shakugan no Shana. It's an old anime that's just now getting adapted, I think, because it's manga finally.
Yeah. Funnily enough, it's made by the same dude who made Toradora.
Oh, go figure.
And the voice and Taiga's voice actor is also the voice actor for the main character of Shauna.
Oh, nice.
Now,
Yeah.
speaking of old animes getting something in Weiss Schwarz, could you imagine if they had a whole deck based around Fist of the North Star?
Oh my god, don't tempt me.
Well, they're just now
Don't tempt me.
Well, Japan just introduced that they're putting in a Rurouni Kenshin series, so anything's possible at this point. And Shakugan no Shana is from a 20-year-old anime. So anything's possible at this point.
I watched that in high school, dude. Not high school, middle school.
Yeah. And the only other piece of Weiss Schwarz news is that they have their World Tournament this upcoming weekend, so I'm looking forward to that.
No, because if there's a big O deck for Weiss Schwarz, I'm like, bruh.
If it happens, I'll let you know. You'll hear it from me first.
Yeah.
And thank you, Ron, for dropping that link. I appreciate it. Now let's get final.
Wait, can I just say, due to me personally, due to the two movies being released last month, Bushiroad, give us a Weiss Schwarz set based on the Gurren Lagann movies, please.
We need the support.
Yes, we need the support.
We need support. We need basic texts that have been released in the last few years. Please give it to us. We need it.
Okay, now that I got that off my chest.
And now we can finally get into the Yu-Gi-Oh!
We were already talking about it. Interesting.
Oh, hell yeah!
Okay, so first off,
Guys, we can be as autistic as possible now.
That was an option.
He's not like
Yeah, you buddy.
Okay, so first off, let's get this one thing out of Master Duel out of the way, because the game between Master Duel, as far as its card pool, and Yu-Gi-Oh! The TCG is almost identical now, so they're not really doing a whole bunch of booster pack imports anymore. The only news we have is the Theme Chronicle, which is a solo mode focused on which is an event focused on the solo modes, rather, and they've given us Crawler, Revendred, and Dynamis trial decks. I also heard that they're introducing an event in the near future where they have a ban list identical to the TCGs.
Oh no, that's confirmed. That's confirmed.
Oh, it has been confirmed. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't find any information about that, so I didn't know if it was actually happening or not.
That's been out for a while.
Fantastic.
And
Thank you.
Chinese players love it because they're not playing with Maxi.
Obviously.
Of course.
It's an even playing field for us.
You and your maximum cockroach.
I'm not good at Yu-Gi-Oh, especially not compared to when I actually used to play it properly in high school. But even I know how to do on Maxi.
For 3 days.
Zip, even when you're not here, you make the most valid points imaginable. All right, so let's go ahead and break into the actual game. First off, Maze of Millennia is officially out.
Welcome to the multiplier.
I picked up the dino cards from it. That's about it.
One shot by tier zeros.
The only thing out of that set that anybody even wants is Bonfire.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe
I want the dinosaur stuff.
I picked it up when it dropped in price.
Don't make fun of Maze of Memories. My Flame Swordsman stuff was in there.
Your Flame Swordsman is set on a spike.
Your Flame Swordsman.
I forgot Flame Swordsman existed, honestly.
Aside from rollback, bonfire, and thrust, lucid fucking blow.
Yeah.
I believe the Flame Swordsman search spell, by the way, is also
what?
like it costs a few dollars.
Yeah, Flame Swordsman's decent stuff though. Like all jokes aside, the Flame Swordsman stuff is fun. They actually did a decent job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We the people who saw the first two cards were like, this sucks. This is the worst Flame Swordsman stuff, and then we finally saw all of it, and they changed their tune fast.
No,
They
you know what's the weird part?
Oh,
They give us all this Flame Swordsman. Where the fuck's the Flame Swordsman reprint?
Oh,
God,
oh
I
my
didn't
god.
see a reprint.
I didn't even realize that.
I think
Well,
funnily enough, I think
Well,
I
you
actually...
see, Konami said, "Fuck you, just use the ones from Structure Deck Joey."
I still have mine.
Yeah. Like,
Or
use
you can
the
just
Joey,
buy
or
them
use
from
Joey Flame Swordsman.
the...
Like, one thing that they should have done is basically make a Scarlight, but for Flame Swordsman.
Of course you want
There
that.
was ideas for Flame Swordsman stuff that's been trending for a while, to the point that even like an Etsy artist, when making an Orica structure deck token in mind, people saw OG Flame Swordsman and then the blue Flame Swordsman and were like, where's the other colored Flame Swordsman? Like, not a whole ass rainbow per se, but a few other variants that could help out.
Well, in terms of flame, blue and red flames are the most popular.
Yeah, you can see a white Flame Swordsman maybe.
The third one has to be white flame, because white flame is the hottest.
And then their fusion would be American Flame Swordsman.
Well,
Yes,
because this game is as realistic as D&D mechanics. I feel like they would most definitely take, if they wanted to per se, they'd give us a green Flame Swordsman.
Why green?
Why?
Well, you ignite your forts.
Only if the sword is made out of copper.
Listen, nothing's logical with Konami at times. All right.
At times.
They got rid of Kojima, who was making them a lot of money, and then for whatever reason, they were afraid that some soccer mom Karen was going to be mad at the name Nosferatu Lich, so they gave us Fushio Richie instead.
Okay, to be fair, Fushio Richie isn't even that bad of a name, but yeah, it's obnoxious.
I find it more funnier.
Or Mind Hacksaws, because, 2012 kids, am I right?
Ugh. Interplanetary Purple Thorny Beast.
We enjoy cringe.
Exactly.
Alright, so next on the list, they also released a 2-player starter set, which gives each player pre-made decks and a comic to follow along with, so you can mimic the moves and learn the game real time.
Hot take, it's actually good for beginners.
Wait, what?
Yes,
I have it.
Good
Pretty
product
good.
for beginners.
That.
Ironically,
I actually found...
probably get it just for Zeus.
Yeah, I was about to say, it comes with reprints of Vanadium Prime Heart and Zeus.
I remember how
much is Zeus
everyone...
now, then?
I think Zeus is cheap with all of these reprints.
It is now.
Guys?
Huh?
Guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh yeah, that one.
Look what I just posted. Yeah.
Yeah,
In the chat. Someone
They
just sent
hate
me that
Pendulum.
they're
yeah, I saw that.
They released a trailer for it. A mini one.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah, they shat
hate
all
pendulums.
over pendulums.
When did they not?
Fair enough.
True.
But
I think the biggest problem with the deck is the fact that you're only given the scripted duel to work with.
Right, it's meant to teach you how to play the game, not build the deck.
Well, yes, it is
The
meant
thing
to
is,
teach
there's
you
a card
to
where
play
it
the game.
makes you shuffle the deck, so that you continue it with nothing. Yet you redo the duel.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
And the problem is,
Yeah. So you play the game with knowledge now.
Nobody's going to follow the fucking script. So this is true.
It's they literally included cards in there saying not to shuffle the decks, that they're pre-designed to be played in a specific way, and obviously no one's going to listen to that because Yu-Gi-Oh players can't read, even the ones that haven't joined yet.
I remember people
I would just do it
getting
because that feels like illegal, honestly.
I remember people getting really pissed off because the starter decks were, well, obviously bad. Oh, it has Zeus and Manatium Prime Heart. Shouldn't they be well optimized? Dude, shut up. It is a starter deck.
Oh my god. Okay, hang on. Rom just said that he played it with his little brother. It's a 62-page comic, and it took an hour to play the game.
Yeah, it's like very long.
That's insane. Like, don't get me wrong. I love games that last a while, but you would assume a game that teaches you how to play wouldn't take that long.
Well,
Exactly.
granted, duels used to take that long in general, but now these days, seeing turn 5 is very rare.
Yeah,
you gotta
that's
give
true.
people. You gotta give people the nostalgia run before they wake up to reality.
That's true.
Snap back to reality. Yup,
Whoop, there goes gravity.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, I know the
Wait, can I
biggest
just share something
complaint
real quick?
with the two-player set
Well, hang on.
is that it continues Konami's tradition of teaching players about the game from a format that's basically exclusive to the anime.
That's true.
Duel Monsters anime.
Something like that.
add.
Now, Ignis, what were you gonna say?
Okay, so there was a time long ago where I made custom cards for no reason, just because.
Everyone does.
Yeah. So I was like over here thinking like making Zeus support. And one of the first ever cards I made was a card called Invincible.
Oh
You
got
alright, man?
attacked by the Konami spy.
Oh no. You got attacked.
What?
The Konami god said we're not gonna.
Python card?
Hey, hang on.
Me,
Are you alright, man?
My headphone just dropped.
That was
My
heavy.
headphone just dropped. It's fine.
Good.
Genuinely thought you got tallywaxed by a fucking Konami spy.
Yeah,
No.
you don't understand when you were like, oh, I made some Zeus support. Here, let me show you the first card I ever made. Then your headphones like dropped and we heard a scream.
Alright, so
Or like
please
Konami's
continue.
like, you better be quiet.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
Do
We're gonna
support
make
7 years from now.
we're gonna make a rank 1 Zeus card and we don't want you to spoil it.
You don't want to spoil it. It's gonna come out in 7 years. Let them suffer. Let them suffer for it now.
We've all had our fun. And now, Ignis, what were you trying to say?
So I named it Invincible Crusader.
Okay.
Okay.
The effect is actually a bit long. This is like back when I had like no idea what I'm doing. When this card is XC summoned, you can special summon one Divine Arsenal monster from your graveyard. You can target one Divine Arsenal monster you control with no materials. Transfer this card's materials to the targeted monster.
Okay.
If this card is sent from the fields of the graveyard by the effect of an XC's monster you control, place both it and one monster your opponent controls under one Divine Arsenal monster you control material, but it can only use the effects once for the rest of this turn.
Oh.
You can only use each effect of Invincible Crusader once per turn.
Oh, so it's
That just sounds
basically
like
just
Utopia Rising.
it's Gossip Shadow mixed with Jormungandr.
Yeah, just something like that. Yeah.
I was actually
Yeah.
gonna
Bad by
say
today's standard.
Utopia Rising.
It's not that bad by today's standards. It's just Gossip Shadow because it throws itself under a card, and it's Jormungandr because it steals cards from either side.
Yeah.
That's
And I made the materials.
That's a new one.
I made the materials 2 level 4 machine type monsters.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually pretty fair.
You know, if you're
Yeah.
thinking
4
of
level
taking
2s or 2
both
level
your
4s?
You know the thing about taking both your opponent's cards as material?
What?
Well, to place under something?
What?
Yeah,
That they
that
don't
is
go your graveyard when you use them?
yeah. That is a pretty
Fair enough,
decent
fair enough,
signifier that it was your first custom card.
All things considered, pretty strong stuff, and it didn't seem too overpowered until recently.
I was gonna say.
I mean,
Wait, which card are we talking about again? Just to be sure.
It wasn't my first ever custom card. It's like one of the many I made. My first ever custom cards were from the Ultraman Rube series.
That's fair. I made cards based on Megas XLR.
I made one on
based
Yoshi and a couple of Pokemon. That's it.
Yeah, I based the cards off of the the 3 Grigio monsters, which I made them all dinosaurs for whatever reason.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Dinosaurs.
I actually made mine for XYZ Alpha Bots.
Oh, fair enough.
Where a Link 3 that summons the pieces from your graveyard. Because I always it can't be they can't be used as link material because you would automatically just go into Appaloosa then.
Obviously.
True.
But you can use them for everything else. It was meant to be something like Dark Knight at.
Oh, okay.
But for light machine unions.
Gotcha. Well,
that can't be abused like Carrier.
Fair enough. No, that actually reminds me that there was one time when I made some customs and I accidentally predicted the illusion monster type.
Tell us your prediction. Tell us.
Basically, it was a series of cards called Construct Type.
Ooh.
Oh.
You could say that it predicted Cybers. You could say that it predicted Illusion. Basically, they could only be summoned in certain ways against certain opponents. It was more like Cybers than anything. They were basically just constructions, and I had a bunch of cards called Counter Construction. It was basically an Ad Ignister joke, if anything.
Fair enough.
But
speaking
Banishment, a weird new text in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be
not really.
Oh, and then it's kind of weird though, because like they added that new word to one card, but not other cards.
2 cards.
Which is weird. Is it 2 cards or one card?
It's on a Labyrinth. It's on a Gate Guardian card too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
The spell that summons Dark Guardian, I believe.
Really?
You look into that. Raven, what were you saying?
I was gonna, because you said that you predicted Cybers or Illusion with your custom cards. I was gonna point out with the custom card, the Crusader card that I read out. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if, like, a year or 2 later, like, Konami actually prints a card just like that via, like, effect-wise?
Dude, if it copied even one of my cards, I'm actually gonna be pissed. I still have them somewhere. But let's go ahead.
I think it's on your. I think it's on your DeviantArt.
I haven't touched DA in a decade.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take a look at that later, but let's get back on track. Next on the list, there's not a whole lot of news, so we can get through this pretty quick. Phantom Nightmare drops next week, and they gave us 2 pieces of information we've been needing to know. First off, they confirmed that Silent Force in the TCG is going to be called Voiceless Voice. Ugh.
That just sounds like some SJW bullshit.
Yeah, kinda, sort of. The other part is that they finally revealed the TCG exclusive archetype they've been hinting at for months, Ashened.
They just made it just to sell Bonfire.
It's alright.
It's really good. It really looks good.
It looks
and that's
cool.
What's scary.
I'm probably gonna play it.
It looks good, don't get me wrong, but like...
I love the art.
Yet.
Well, it needs like a second wave really to really flesh stuff out, and I'm sure Konami is going to be getting to that.
Oh, obviously.
But I love the inspiration and lore behind them from what they gave us. It's art style and like world building wise, it's basically just Dark Souls deck, but these people are also the victims of the Pompeii tragedy, and the big fuck you dragon is actually what caused the eruption.
It sounds about
it's
right.
Fantastic lore.
Really
it's cool design. The effects are pretty solid.
That's actually really good lore.
Yeah,
it's basically everything War Rock should have been.
Honestly, yeah. But the only flaw is that they need a field spell to work, which is fine.
Which I discovered something funny, by the way. So
what?
Someone brought to my attention Ashened with Triamids, and I'm like, oh, I see the synergy.
Yeah.
Try. Triamids are a field spell based deck, and they profit whenever their field spells are destroyed or replaced even. And then you have Ashen, who want to blow up the field spells, and it's time to cook.
I'm already hard over here. I love some of this.
There's also the FAs that you could use their field spells with.
That is true.
I heard Ashen Triamid, and like after experimenting with Triamid fossils, I'm like Gordon Ramsay. Finally, some good fucking.
Ashen Fire King's probably gonna be a thing though. That's what's gonna kill.
Yeah,
That's gonna probably
Ashen Fire Kings? Nah, there won't be any synergy with that.
You'd be surprised.
I probably would. Well,
I mean,
next on the list, we got a ton. I'm sorry, what was that?
I was about to say you underestimate the player base.
I really do. I expect better from the player base. That's what it is.
Dude, I'm gonna say it's Ashen Volcanic. Obviously.
That could work.
God.
That could work.
Oh, dear.
Well, let's get to the next item on the list, which is the reveals that we got for the rest of Legacy of Destruction. First off, we got more Snake Eye Simple Spoil support. The main deck monster doesn't look that good, but the quick play spell looks like it's going to be good for any decks that both use Simple Spoil cards.
Dude, mirror match card right there. Just mirror match right there.
Exactly. There's 3 different decks in the top 8, in the top 4, top 8 that all use the Simple Spoil engine. It's going to work.
I know it was going to work.
They also gave Goblin Riders more support, rank 3 in a normal trap.
They're not good.
Not really, but it gives them more options, I guess. Let's see. More Gold Pride support, 5-star tuner and an 8-star synchro.
I'm just more so surprised
not what the deck needs.
finally.
Not what the deck needs.
I'm just more so surprised it gave us like an actual Goblin archetype, even if it took them till 2023.
I mean, unless you count Plunder Patrol.
Yeah. If you don't count Plunder, it is the first Goblin one, and I actually would like to play it. It looks so fun.
by archetype name and like it's not another like one-off series of Goblin cards by themselves that don't synergize with anything. Then yeah, it's the first Goblin named deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to count Goblin Attack Force, but that's a whole other problem.
Attack Force is great.
Yeah.
Especially in Goat.
Let's see. They also gave us the new Diabells of the original Sin, the counterpart to Diabella Star herself, and 2 traps to play it.
She is toxic.
Yeah, she's anti-pendulum. She's the new anti-spell fragrance, except she's searchable.
No, they forgot Pendulum existed when making her.
Well, I don't think they forgot. They hated Pendulum the moment it came into existence.
Yeah, that's their fault.
Can I just say that she is the first illusion type monster to not have the battle thing?
Effect, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. She is the first one to not have the anti-battle.
Yeah, good eye, yeah.
Yeah, Dark Samoric, but waifu and on steroids, yeah. Now, on the subject of the illusions, though, they did give us some new support. Mirage Mirror Force, which is just a compulse. Golgol, which is an ancient card from the manga. Nightmare Apprentice, which is the 6-star Dark Magician girl retrained that searches on summon.
Oh yeah, she's
the whole type.
She's a tricky that's just better because she's a Rhoda for everything of the type.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see. They also gave us Fishborg Harpooner, which is a 4-star water fish tuner that is gonna probably be played in Sharks.
Oh yeah.
I really like that card.
The card that can special summon itself and proc the effects of mermails and even some Atlantean cards before you even normal summon. That's fun.
Pre-summon Coelacanth.
Oh my god.
I made your brain fart on that one.
Yes, you did.
Alright, they also gave us a new math-based trap card called Equation System Cannon.
It's a math card.
Listen.
Situational.
Konami needs to learn their lessons. Yu-Gi-Oh players are 1, not good at reading, and the 2, not good at math, so they expect them to play this card.
Yeah.
It's mostly just pack filler. They did give us a new Memento Fusion Monster Infusion spell. That stuff's pretty good.
Yeah, this is actually interesting.
I want to point out about that fusion spell, by the way, that most people have skimmed over for whatever reason. Shuffling from graveyard is a cost, and yeah, that part will restrict you to the Memento fusion monster. But when you shuffle on field, that gives you access to a Starving Venom and a Guardian Chimera during your opponent's turn, and the fact that it requires one Memento which isn't even really a downside because Starving Venom just needs a Dark Monster on field. Which is, I believe, all of the Mementos, or at least a large majority of them.
I believe they're all dark, actually, yeah.
So there's no, real restriction there.
Yeah, you're right.
I love when a restriction is not a restriction.
Speaking of restrictions, though, Centurion got more support. They got an 8-star main decker, a quick play spell, and a 12-star synchro.
It's alright.
Could they leave King Calamity alone? They got their own...
The new 12-star doesn't really do much. It searches on summon and protects the back row, and then if it dies, it sends something from deck to graveyard, I think it is.
No, you're thinking of the spell.
Oh, yeah. Well, in any case, it doesn't really do very much. And then they introduced this new card for trains, basically, called Log Valdrath, which is a rank 10 monster that can negate stuff.
The card that destroys.
Let's
go!
Wait, hold on.
Basically an Xyz for Time Lords.
Wait, hold on. Am I thinking of the same card? Is it the rank 10 that can destroy a card on your field?
If it dies, yeah.
I know. I've seen Ubel lists make use of that.
Actually, that makes perfect sense. This is basically Ubel support. And the last item on the list to talk about is the 25th Anniversary Collection Pack 2 that they just recently announced, and it's coming out on May 23rd.
I have mixed feelings about this.
Well, they haven't given us all the cards yet, obviously, but the stuff they've announced is pretty good. First off, every card's going to have bare minimum 3 different rarities, so that's cool at least. But they have confirmed reprints for Access Code Talker, Magician Souls, Silent Magician, and Swordsman. Hand traps like Drollin Lockbird, Ghost Ogre, Ghost Mourner, and Phantasme. All 4 of the Vistas lore field spells are going to get reprinted, as well as the alternate art IP Masquerena, alternate art Rescue Cat, and Apollosa.
So if you didn't like the gold rare variants of those cards, well, here they are, and possibly 3 different rarities that you may be lucky enough to pull.
Yes, it'll basically be Ultra, Secret, and Super, I believe it is. Welcome back.
What are we playing?
We were just wrapping up the Yu-Gi-Oh part. Yeah, there wasn't really much to talk about. We were just talking about releases from the pack set.
I don't know. There's one more thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! The light pack now is getting their own thing.
They did just announce that we're getting a Duelist the Light pack, actually. Yeah, I was saving that for last, but they didn't give us very much information to go on, so I was debating on whether or not we should even wait.
Yeah.
I feel like
sorry.
No, you go first.
One thing I definitely expect to happen is we are probably going to see shit for Luna.
Luna Light?
Yeah.
I was going to, because what I was going to say is I have a few predictions of noteworthy anime characters they could give legacy support to. And Luna was definitely one of them because we got Ancient Fairy Dragon back, and she still does not have her own archetype. So
you mean Luna from 5Ds?
Yeah, she does not have her own archetype among the signers, but she was playing a quote-unquote fairy tale spirit world-based deck, so maybe we'll get some retrains to make a sort of ancient fairy-based archetype, who knows?
I'd be cool with that.
And further down on the list, the obvious one, because Arcana Force the Fiend wasn't enough, Sartorius.
Yeah.
I mean, he played a major role as a villain in Season 2 of GX, and his archetype has potential, and has been getting dicked down here and there. So in this set, I'm going to predict that he gets some cards that help with a lot of the deck's flaws, maybe improve where we got shafted upon the initial upon the initial printings in like Light of Destruction.
You know, they did just give them a brand new card, so you do have a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Fiend is a good example of how to support the archetype, though. Giving them a discarding effect, or a secondary effect, besides the coin toss effect.
Something like that.
And then I know this one is like, I know people have been, this next prediction, Ojamas for like another GX rep. Listen, Armed Dragon and the Light Machine Unions got their own archetypes, their own identities. So why the fuck is Ojama being restricted by Chaz the Chad's fucking stupid deck building in GX?
Oh no. I just realized we're missing we're missing the most obvious one.
Yes. Ojama line.
No. Blue Eyes.
Well,
I don't think Kaiba's getting anything in this.
Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
B through Z.
Yeah. He already got his stuff in White Dragon Abyss, the Rivals legendary duelist.
They're gonna slap his face on the pack regardless as a means of selling it to nostalgia baiters.
No.
But I feel but it's like here's the thing. Ojamas are like really weird. They have a clear-cut game plan, which is basically zone blocking these little minion-esque creatures before minions, just blocking up being nuisances on the board. Like, maybe expand more upon that. Now, don't make them as broken as Full Power Kashtira per se, but at least stick with their theme so they don't need fucking Armed Dragon or VWXYZ Dragon to make any kind of plays, really.
Well,
yeah,
maybe even give them a revamp of Country, or give us the rest of the Ojamas that are on the Ojama Country's art.
Yeah.
Like, where's
They need
Ojama
more fusion.
Indigo,
They need more
Hello, or
fusion.
Lot? Yeah, an Ojama King Retrain or another fusion, really.
Ojama Queen.
Like, literally any...
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, no.
Like,
show title.
Like, literally anything that could help this deck where it needs it. Like, Ojama Pink was a good start, guys, but...
Also, I had like a few scary things that came into my mind when it came to the light thing. A Trickstar Link 5.
No, we all
need more Trickstar support.
Well, regardless of whatever PTSD we had from Trickstar FDKs in 2018, for the Vrains representative, you know damn well we're gonna get Trickstar stuff if they do plan that.
Probably.
But the most obvious one, because let's face it, there was a trend. Legendary Duelist Water, we got Shark stuff. Fire Legendary Duelists, we got Battling Boxers, and now we have Light. And who's the next Barian whose archetype wasn't touched in ages? Star Serum.
Wasn't there like a poll or something involving them? I remember something involving them.
I think it was like structure deck stuff or create a card.
Yeah. So like, it's guaranteed that archetype might get support. So
they might. There's also another possibility. They might finally use this as a chance to import Armadas Legio.
No, they can't. This anime. If they want to do that, they do that and anime support.
Armadas Legio is played by a Vrains character.
Yeah, but they can't use either Trickstars then.
Here's the thing with Legendary Duelists. They use this to like give support to existing archetype via legacy support. They're not going to do it to fucking Lightning's archetype because that hasn't been printed yet, obviously.
As much as we would want to,
yes,
it's not.
It's not happening.
If anything, they're going to save that for another animation chronicle or another one of those Battles of Legends set if they ever make any more of those.
Fair.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I have two that I could recommend that might happen.
What?
One, they might give Taya a series of Light Fairy cards.
That for the DM I mean, they could make a whole friendship archetype with light fairies that do unique stuff.
It could work.
The other option, and this is far more likely, Gradius ship support.
Oh,
Two different characters that played that deck.
They played like one or two cards from the series.
There were only
Duke
3
Devlin,
cards in the archetype.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about Alexis and her Cyber Fairies?
That already got supported in Girl Power Legendary Duelist. We're not going to get another
Angels.
one of that.
Okay,
yeah. The point that I'm getting is this: we've seen the card used in 2 different versions of 2 different seasons of the anime itself. One with Duke Devlin, one with Noah. There's enough presence of other cards that associate with it to where it could be worthwhile to give it some kind of support.
And I don't disagree with you, but knowing Konami's logic, we're gonna have to cross our fingers.
Yeah,
because because Gradius ships look cool, and from what I've seen of you piloting them and the trash off, and like even some videos where you OTK people with them, they look fire.
Yeah, I would actually love a Gradius ship that's a Link 3 that just says dump as many light machines as you can from your hand. Anytime you make a token, your opponent takes damage.
Though I also am worried because if they're like taking the idea of Gradius and like slapping it onto Duke Devlin because of his one OTK victory when he used Fairy Meteor Crush and Limiter Removal, I'm fearful of possible dice roll based effects.
Possible, but if they use Noah's, they'll tie it to Shinato or something.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Who was asking for Shinato stuff?
Yeah, like if they make Noah stuff, it's
Wait, hold on.
Maybe
they'll
finally give us Shuttleroid.
Wait, hold on. The 3 Shinato enthusiasts crying in the corner when you said that.
Right? but he looked cool in the anime, and he was a clear Bible reference. Look, Noah Kaiba, the Ark. Oh, shut up. Be realistic here.
By the way, moments before
realism
death.
is not what we have here.
Terrifying moments before death dropped in the chat.
And then you activate a Mirror Force just to say no.
Oh, you used the ritual spell to send 2 shining angels to summon this ritual? Cool, Mirror Force. Nice boss monster, idiot.
Wait, hold on, Raven. The funny thing about that is one of the fan-made Yu-Gi-Oh shows that I've seen, like one of the later episodes actually had somebody using Shinato, and they actually did use Shining Angel to attribute honor.
That's amazing.
I was just joking because I couldn't think of any other fairies at the top of my head that were like old school, and then you bring this to my attention.
All right. Well, that was the last thing I had on my list to talk about, honestly. So.
Oh yes.
So, is there anything else we can talk about real quick before we call it a night?
I know it's talking about
wrestling.
Hang on. Ignister, go ahead.
I just want to show like what the custom card I talked about looked like. I already had it like pulled up.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's the card you were talking. Okay, that's actually pretty good. But man, that text is hard to read.
I want to point out, like when I first started making custom cards, I was like 8 or 9, and I barely had a grasp of Yu-Gi-Oh. But who here remembers Yu-Gi-Oh Cardmaker.net?
I used it for a very long time.
Oh, that's.
I think I
So I was on that daily. I didn't know like all the different types because I was still somewhat I was a stupid kid trying to learn a fucking complex card game, and there would just be times where I would make the most absurd shit because I had no clue what balance in Yu-Gi-Oh was. There was one trap card, it was a picture. It just had a stock photo of a Ferrari on it, and it was just the Ferrari trap card, and the effect was pay 1 life point. Your opponent takes 9,000 damage.
Years ago, and this is for Raven to know, because when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh in high school, one of my friends, my friend Froyland, we called him the Pigeon, because he sounded like a pigeon. Because he's like, the fuck? It was like, we were just like, God damn it, he sounded like a pigeon. He made a card specifically for my friend Malik, who's dark as you can say anything. And the card said, if you like social justice, if you're playing against Yugo with this man and you play this card, you win the duel.
Oh my god!
Social justice. So like you'll sneak it in to like, hey Kenny, take the card. I feel social justice, and my friend Malik's like, get that shit out of here. Get out of here. Like, no, sir, this is social justice.
I want to point out too, my misunderstanding of mechanics and everything in Yu-Gi-Oh at the time was so bad that whenever I saw a monster with question mark attack, I deadass thought that because there was no like exact attack point number, that you could make up your own. So there was a time where I was dueling my friend who was equally like as misinformed as I was about the game. I dropped down the Wicked Eraser on him, and I was like, oh, he doesn't have any. His attack points are mystery, which means that I can make it like 1 billion. I win the duel.
Slap an infinite attack on it. Yeah.
Then you actually read the Wicked Eraser's effect.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
I didn't even read the cards to like see. I was like, oh, mystery, fucking attack points, 1 billion, and then I read like the Wicked Eraser later. I'm just like, what was I on when I was 9 years old? It's right here in the text. 1,000 for every card the opponent controls.
Okay. Be right back, guys.
Take your time, man.
All right.
Okay.
I found it.
So there is something I want to ask all of y'all.
Yes.
Shoot.
I actually found it.
It's not that important. I don't need everyone to be here, but what is the one OG deck y'all could think of that when you think of it, it's like the archetype? I mean, that's the worst.
Were you that?
One of the OG archetypes before Battle City, Pegasus Island, basically.
You mean ones that haven't been supported yet?
No, in general.
In general,
I can think of Magnet Warriors.
Fusion Castle.
Red Eyes, really?
Red Eyes is still pretty.
I want to say the Dark Illusion Castle.
Gate Guardian. That
is
sucked
an archetype. Damn. Okay, so all good answers, but I guarantee that none of you would argue with me if I were to say that Toons is the worst of all of them. Correct?
No, Toons are
Let me rephrase that.
Well,
bottom
that's
5
like,
at the very least. At the very least, bottom 5.
if we're talking about like how good they were in the anime and like comparison to like what we...
and in the TCG.
Oh,
in
the TCG they were like really weird. Like Go format they were decent because it's Toon World and Mermaid, that's just free tribute fodder, but what other utilities did it have?
That's the thing. That's what's its main weakness, that it basically just only does one thing and it doesn't even do it well, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
When the fact that it's supposed to do big damage by sacrificing monsters easily, and then it doesn't even do that.
Like even around Edison format, I've seen lists that out of all the Toon cards, they only use like Toon Table, the Mermaid, and Toon World because it's a free special summon, and Brionac was legal, so that's synchro fodder.
Yeah. So, what do you think? If you guys had the chance to work with they come to your door tomorrow morning, they tell you, Kazuki, I can't remember his name. They tell you that he wanted you in his place. Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. That he wanted you to be the CEO of not Konami, but the Yu-Gi-Oh division. And he says he wants you to improve Toons any way you can because it's the only classic deck that he feels hasn't gotten enough love. What card or cards, I'd say up to three cards you can make that you think would make them good?
A fusion monster, a fusion spell, and some other main deck monster. I don't know what, like a level 4 or lower one.
Yeah.
Alright. Say again, a main deck monster and what?
A fusion spell and a fusion monster.
Yeah, that would be good. So then, I'm sorry. If that's the case, then if that's the case of it being a normal monster, what monster would you be copying? Because there is no like unique Toon monster.
Like that's kind of
except for
because, like,
Mimic Cat.
it's kind of hard to think about because like when you look at Toons, like they're all anime-based cards.
Wait a second. I have an idea. Go ahead.
I would say a new version of Toon Alligator.
I was going to say.
Oh, like an errata.
I was going to say
a
retrain. I was a retrain of like either Toon Alligator or just making Dark Rabbit a Toon monster that's really good, or in like even like a field spell version of Toon World before Kingdom that gave Toons like protection and ignored the summoning sickness clause so that you could actually do stuff with them.
Sorry, I'm actually gonna head on off now. So
all right. Well, thanks for
time.
stopping by, man. We appreciate you making it.
Snake that is in my room has just shed her skin.
Ooh. Yeah, you better go take care of that.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy the rest of the podcast. Bye.
See you next time, man.
See you.
All right. Well, I think that's probably a pretty good note to end it on, unless we got something else to talk about.
All right.
Actually, Toku-wise, I was looking at the new Fies movie because the 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Gotta go, guys. See ya.
All right. See you next time, man.
Be safe.
Adieu.
Have a good night.
I think I'm in for the house.
You too.
As cool as the next Fies was, because there was like a lot, both from Weiss and I'm kind of like, this was always going to happen. Like he was going to basically become human and still be able to use Fies 1.0, which
is an interesting concept to consider. I'm not sure if I'm going to see the movie personally. Like, I loved Fies, but I took one look at those new suits and I'm like, no, I do not like the looks of those new suits.
Yeah, because
I mean, they're fine. They're not bad, but they're not good either.
They're strict downgrades, in my opinion. They're too bulky. Part of the appeal
they
of
are.
Fies is gear was
agree on.
Yeah, Caxia's actor often complained about the whole thing being bulky.
I mean, it can't be any worse than Kiva's suit using actual metal chains.
Oh yeah, because I remember that whole thing.
Kamen Kiva's suit that had chains dangling from its limbs and off its chest plate used actual metal chains, which made no sense. But I'm not gonna lie, it did make it a lot more authentic.
Yes, it did.
But
That's a good thing or a bad thing that's more authentic.
Yeah, but it did mean that they had to get to his super suit much sooner because it was infinitely lighter and less likely to just rock back and hit him in the chest.
No,
damn.
Because all the stuntmen during Kiva often passed out from heat stroke due to how heavy that suit was.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, give me a sec. Let's see if I can find a decent looking image of the suit.
Yeah, imagine doing all that stunt work for Kiva and half your stunt people pass out after filming.
It's not a super descriptive image, but if you take a look at some of the cross patterns on his shoulder plates and on his leg, he actually has genuine steel embedded in it. And then when you use some of his alternate forms, they crisscrossed steel patterns onto it on top of that. Yeah, it was not pretty. But
the same material.
It looks like it, but it's not. It's genuine steel. As far as currently going on, the sad part is, I know we're about to get a new Sentai, but it's following up King Oger, which in my opinion is probably one of the best Sentai teams we've had in a long time.
Yes.
Oh, 100%. I cannot wait for this week's episode.
I've
seen, the worst part is I've seen Boon Boonjer. I'll let you continue in a moment. I've seen images of Boon Boonjer. At first I was kind of like on the fence about it. It might be kind of cool. It feels like Drive is being imported into Sentai. But then I see the unfortunateness that is the orange Boon Boonjer. He literally has a pizza face.
It's funny.
I hate to agree, but you're right. I'm going to give them a chance because the Megazord is literally just the vehicle version of the Ryu Soldier Megazord.
if they do not do headstands and start running around sideways on the wheels on their head like tires, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Wait, okay, so on the subject, hold on. On the subject of that, Boon Boonger's mecha seems to be very similar to Lupat's mecha, where they also work with the changer.
A little bit, yeah, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We don't have too much longer before King Oger, and I'm planning on getting a higher resolution copy to put on the Gilded if I can, because, 540 copy's fine, but I want to see if I can get a 720 or 1080 to fit on there.
Yeah. I also love that their weapons are also used to drive the Zords.
That's kind of cool.
Because they did this they did that a bit in Go Busters.
A little bit.
But I kind of feel like for a vehicle-based Ranger team, it makes more sense.
Yeah, but those wheels are going to have to expand because they don't look that big.
Yeah, because how do they see out of them? That was always...
Transparent plastic plates?
That's the neat part. They don't.
Oh, great. They're driving blind.
No, we're gonna drive blind, baby. I need to watch Super Sentai, everybody.
They drive blind in like
oh my god.
They drive blind on their fucking bike things, and the dub version of like the 5D's opening is playing as they crash.
Yeah.
Here's also another thing. Here's also another thing that I also love about the Boon Boonger Megazord. Red Zord can actually carry all of them.
Oh god, they're driving unlicensed.
Like Red Zord is technically a trailer that carries all of them.
Oh, so they're basically doing kind of they're mimicking what they did for Lightspeed Rescue Go-Go 5, where one Zord can carry all of them.
I mean, Go Liner isn't really one singular vehicle. It's like more like a bunch of
okay, then we could go with
in my opinion.
Yeah, then in that case, the one that was turned into Dino Thunder, what was it called again?
Blackio.
Yeah, the Sentai.
Abba Ranger.
Yeah, basically the Black Zord from Abba Ranger.
Yeah. I know what you're...
Put this somewhere else.
I actually know what you're talking about.
But as far as Rider, Gotchard is... I finally started sitting down and actually watching Gotchard and trying to get caught up, and something about it is off. Like, it might be because the last 5 episodes have referenced stuff that came from the movie that we still don't have the ability to see yet.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem.
Yeah,
I'm actually liking Gotchard, but I'm like, is Majade going to have form changes? Because I know they don't like female writers having form changes, but...
Well, she's technically the second actual writer of the series, so she should have at least one.
Like, because I know Gotchard has one fantasy cosmic form change that's supposed to go to Majade. Because I would be okay if you had like 4 wild and 4 actual form changes.
Maybe. I guess the only thing we can really do is wait and see how they treat them, because it's still very early in the series.
I just don't want Majade treated like Valkyrie.
I mean, she's technically the second writer of the series. She should be treated better.
Oh, she's 100% the secondary writer of Gotchard. Cause I don't think Legend counts.
I was actually referring to Valvarad when I was saying that. Mr. Giant Wrench Sword Man.
Yes.
He should be technically he's technically not a writer.
No.
Yeah, he's not a writer yet.
Also, here's the funny thing I found out about Valvarad. You know his suit actually weakens it? Both him and the chem he's using.
It's an inefficient model, that makes sense. Add to it, he's only using 1 card to transform, as opposed to Gotchard using 2 and Majade using 2 as well.
Yeah. Basically, Mad Wheel's power has to be nerfed so it doesn't kill him immediately.
That makes sense. I can only assume that if he's going to get his his actual writer form at some point down the line, that it'll fix that problem. But we'll see.
Yeah, speaking of his writer form, why does his two chemis require two of the same number?
Yeah, me.
That is a very interesting question.
And they don't add up to 10 either.
Yeah, like none of them add up to 10. I was thinking like that the igniter advocates for them. The igniter balances them out.
That'd be my guess, honestly. But beyond that, I couldn't tell you. I'm also watching the new Garo series. First off, I'm happy to see Dogai Ryuga back in the main plot point because he was Dogai's arc, in my opinion, is probably one of the funniest. It's like the Deno of Garo. I love it.
I actually love Ryuga.
But and they're not using just CGI creatures anymore. They went through the extra mile to give every monster genuine suits, which I think looks awesome.
Yeah.
But something about it feels off.
Here's actually the thing that I actually one of the things I loved about Garo. You know, like Decade's actor was in it, and that was he loved it because he said Garo let him do the one thing Toei never allowed him to do.
Which was what?
Actual sword work. He was actually trained by several famous stunt people in Japan.
You know, that reminds me.
Oh wow.
You know, that's funny you mentioned that because that just reminded me of something that I saw earlier. Apparently, Decade himself was in Ninja Warrior.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. He Decade's actor was trained by Seiji Takigawa.
Ooh. Damn.
Like he was trained by several famed stunt and sword people throughout Japan. And one thing Toei, because of Toei's rule about them never letting their actors do stunt work except for specific occasions. Because that was actually.
I hate when that happens. Welcome back. You alright, Tim?
Yeah, it just bugged me out.
I hate when that happens. We're probably gonna have to call it a show soon because I don't expect Discord to last much longer at this rate. Does anyone have anything else to talk about before we call it a night?
That's pretty much it.
No, that's it. I just want to ask that about tunes.
Oh, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, then I guess we'll just go ahead and call it because if we stay on here any longer, we risk the being cut off.
This is true.
All right, we'll just call it here. Thank you, everybody, for showing up for this show. It's been fantastic, even if we did have a lot of problems getting started. We record these shows on the first Friday of every month, and that means that the next one will be recorded on Friday. Oh, it's going to be March 1st. Right, because this is a leap year month. This is a leap year month.
It is.
I forgot about that.
All right, there's so many coincidences. We have a Super Bowl that's the same, presidency is the same, COVID happened the same year.
And then, of course, the Puppy Bowl. Don't forget the Puppy Bowl.
I will not watch the Puppy Bowl. I will watch the actual Super Bowl.
How dare you?
Why not? Why
As
not?
a 49ers fan, I have to.
Wait, hang on. What day is the Super Bowl again?
February 11th.
Fuck.
When does it start?
It's gonna be a good time, everybody.
It's gonna be in the evening.
It's gonna always be in the evening. It probably start at like 2 p.m., 3 p.m.
All right. Well,
that's not evening. What the fuck?
It's your loss.
Here's an idea. Just get 2 monitors and watch both at the same time.
Honestly, yeah. If the show gets boring, you can watch the Puppy Bowl. It's gonna be infinitely more entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh no, not this Super Bowl.
It just so happens that the next podcast is going to be out at my mother's birthday.
Oh, you're going to be able to make it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, in the meantime, though, thank you again, everybody, for showing up. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you in the next show. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios.